Hi everybody, I'm JC and welcome to Dadbod with JC. I think this is day 21-ish, so about 3 weeks into this. Um, I'm doing about a 1 hour workout every day, usually a little different from day to day, so I won't do like core exercises 2 days in a row, that sort of thing. I've lost a little bit of weight. I'm feeling more than a little better because I hadn't been exercising regularly every day before that, and so yeah, things are good here. Today I'm planning wrist and ankle exercises, specifically wrist and ankle exercises. This wrist has gotten. I keep complaining a little bit about this wrist, and I like to run, play tennis, go bicycling or whatnot. So it's good to get my wrist and ankles a little stronger. I haven't really focused on this at all in the past, so these are all new workouts for me for the most part. I mean, some of them are kind of self-explanatory. One of them for the ankles is like you just bring your ankle up and down and up and down. So some of these things are kind of straightforward, but some of them aren't. So yeah, I'll just get started with a bunch of wrist exercises followed by a bunch of ankle exercises, and that should take me through the hour. So the first wrist exercise is range of motion. 10 reps each side. I'm going to do 2 sets of that. Okay, so for this I got to rest my arm on the upper leg, make a fist, and flex the hand up and down, and then flex the wrist left and right. So 10 times up and down, 10 times left and right on both sides. So I'll sit down right here for that. I think I can do both wrists at the same time. I don't really see why I would need to focus. So for this, I'll just put my wrists over my knees here. I gotta make a fist, and then I'm gonna pump my wrists up and down. So down and up, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got a dog here, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Now I'm going to do left and right for 10 times. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, you got a little partner here. Got a little partner for because I got my little partner right here. I want to play with him, but now I'll keep going with the wrist exercises. So that was 1 set. So that was really quick. And this guy, he really wants to play. He really wants to play. He's like, you can't do wrist exercises without me, man. That's what he's saying. All right, say something to the audience. So they're waiting for you to say, oh, oh, oh. All right, that's good enough. Okay. All right. I'll get back to the exercise. If you like the dog, give a like, give a follow, give a subscribe. It's all good. So anyway, so go ahead, put your arms, forearms on top of your knees. Make a fist, and then bring the fist down and up 10 times. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. My dog's stealing the show. 8, 9, and 10. And now left and right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Hey baby. 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right. He's celebrating the 2 sets being complete with that. All right, that went quick. I didn't think I was going to go quite as quick. Okay, so the next one is loosen up, stretch. So it's 6 reps each side. We're going to do 2 sets of these. So for the loosen up stretch exercise for a wrist, first I'm going to sit I'm gonna bend my elbow at a right angle, so like kind of like this. I'm gonna make my fist and then spread my fingers wide open. So I'm gonna do that 6 times. So I'm gonna do that with both hands. So basically, I'm gonna put my elbows on my leg here. I'm gonna make a fist here, and then spread the fingers wide open for 1. Give it a nice stretch. 2. You're basically just opening and closing, but when you open, you give a good stretch for your wrist and your fingers. 3. Just doing this 6 times. 4. Almost looks like jazz hands. If you have kids, and specifically daughters, you might know the jazz hands. I think I already did 4, but I'll do 4 again here. 5. And 6. All right. So I got 2 sets of that. I'm gonna shake my hands out here for a second. Reread my notes to make sure I'm doing this more or less correctly. I'm gonna look at some video. I might not be doing this exactly right, but I do feel stuff loosening up in my fingers and my wrists a little bit, so it can't be that bad of a stretch activity. So for this, putting your forearms on your legs, just resting in there, closing into a fist, pumping them in, and then after a second or 2 of that, you stretch your fingers out, all of your fingers out, and you pump your wrist out. So that's 1. Flex your wrist in and make a fist, and then loosen the fingers and the wrist for 2. Pump, I'm going to call the inside move pump. And spread for 3. Pump. And spread for 4. It really looks like jazz hands from back in my daughter's dance days. 4. Pump. And 5. Opening up your fingers nice and wide, your thumbs nice and wide, giving your fingers a good stretch, your wrist a good stretch. Pump. When you pump, you make a fist, bring it to the inside, and then you release wide, opening up your wrists, opening up your fingers, taking a deep breath, maybe engaging your core, why not? And that was 6. So that was 2 sets of the loosen up stretch for your wrists. All right. For this next one, I'm going to stand up. It's called the prayer stretch. Elbows are bent. So elbows are bent, palms together, fingertips just below the chin. I will be standing up eventually. Lower your hands towards your waist, keeping hands pressed together towards your stomach. Find the stretch and hold for 30 seconds. So I'm actually gonna set my little timer here for the 30 seconds. I'm actually gonna set it to 40 seconds because I'm gonna give myself time to find the stretch. I'm gonna give myself 10 seconds to find my stretch, and then once I find my stretch, it'll be another 30 seconds. So altogether, it'll be 40 seconds. It's just I can't start the timer with my hands pressed together. I'm standing up for this. Standard for your feet, for standing up, your feet need to be about shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, just to keep your balance. Here again, I'm pressing my fingers together, slightly just underneath my chin, just in front of my chest. Actually, my thumbs are actually touching the chest here and grazing my chin. Oh yeah, I gotta hit the timer button. And now I'm gonna slowly bring them down towards my hands down towards my waist, keeping them pressed, keeping the palms together. I've reached about where I'm gonna be for my stretch, and my timer is around 30 seconds, so I'm just gonna hold this for the rest of the 30 seconds and feel a nice stretch in my wrist. Where my watch is attached to my wrist, I can feel my pulse. I might loosen up my watch here for this next set. It's not uncomfortable, it's just weird to feel my pulse right there in my wrist. Alright, that's the 30 seconds. Alright, so I'm going to shake the wrist out a teeny bit. I will relax my wrist, relax my watch a teeny bit from my wrist here. I don't want my watch to interfere with the wrist stretch. I don't want to feel my pulse. That was creepy. Again, I'm going to get my hands together in prayer position just underneath my chin. I'm starting my timer at 40 seconds. I'm giving myself 10 seconds to find my stretch. So just under my chin, I'm going to bring down my hands, palms still touching each other, until I feel a nice, good stretch. I found my stretch more or less. I'm going to keep breathing. I got 30 more seconds to go. I'm going to keep breathing. I'm going to try to keep stretching my wrists out here. That's 30 seconds. I got one more set of that. While I shake my wrist, I'll check for any chats that I have going on here. Thanks for joining, anybody who's following along. I'm just doing some exercises here. I'm doing about 60 minutes worth of exercises. I'm calling it Dad Bod with JC because I'm JC. Today I'm focusing in on wrists and ankles, starting off with wrist exercises. I got one more set of prayer stretch. I'll walk through the prayer stretch again. So I'm going to start first I start with my hands and palms together right in front of my chest, just with my fingertips just underneath my chin. I'm going to start my timer here at 40 seconds to give myself 10 seconds to slowly lower my pressed hands together down towards my waist. And as soon as I find a good stretch for my wrists, while my palms are still pressed together, I'll stop. I'll just try to deepen my stretch just in that area. I'm pretty much stopped right there. And I'm assuming there's going to be roughly 30 seconds left on my little timer. And I'm going to be stretching my wrist for 20, 15 more seconds here. So I finally got a nice light so I can put up so that when my laundry room is being used, I don't need the light from the laundry room to get this recorded. Yeah, we got a pretty active laundry room here apparently. Okay, so that was 30 seconds, and that was the 3 sets of the prayer stretch I had planned. I gotta shake my wrists out. That was a pretty good stretch for my wrists. I did play tennis a little bit earlier today, so I'm pretty thirsty, even though I've only been stretching my wrists here for a few minutes. I'm thirsty from the exercise earlier. Then I keep talking. All right. Next one is a prayer stretch with a steeple. So it's pretty much like the stretch I was just doing, except instead of my fingers being together here, my fingers are going to be spread apart. So, and everything's touching each other. So in this first stretch, the prayer stretch, my fingers and hands were together and my palms were together. This time everything's still going to be together. I'm just going to spread open my fingers and my thumbs, and that's where I'm going to find my stretch. All right, so I'm going to start my timer here. So yeah, I'll start my timer here. I'm going to bring my fingers together underneath my chin. Everything's spread open, like so. And I'll start my timer now. So I have it at 40 seconds to give myself 10 seconds to get down to my waist, or towards my waist. I'm not nearly flexible enough to get my wrists all the way down to my waist to feel a good stretch there. I found my good stretch. We're just going to breathe in and out until the timer goes off for the 30 remaining seconds. It's probably like 15 or 20 seconds left here. I can feel this stretch pretty good on my wrists. I can also feel it back in my on my shoulder blades, of all places. Maybe that's not desirable. Maybe I should just release my shoulders, relax my shoulders. This is a wrist exercise. Yeah, maybe I should relax my shoulders. Timer's up. So that was the first set of 3 sets of prayer stretch with a steeple. So I guess the fingers spread open is the steeple. And hear all the people, like that old game. All right. Wow, that one killed my back for some reason. My back is really feeling it. I mean, my wrists are feeling it good, but my back is, I can really feel it on my back. Weird, unexpected, but I'll keep going. So again, I'm going to place my fingers and palms together up right underneath my chin with my fingers splayed open. I'm going to start my timer, giving myself 10 seconds to get from under my chin and lower down my spread palms and fingers down towards my waist, finding a good stretch. The stretch is there, and probably got another 20 seconds left in the stretch. For whatever reason, the behind my shoulders is where I'm feeling this. I mean, I'm feeling a good stretch of my fingers and my wrists, that's for sure. But behind my shoulders, it's on fire. And the interwebs had nothing about my shoulders being on fire. I might be doing this wrong. I might be pressing my hands together. That's the end of time there for that stretch. Okay, shake your hands out if you need to. I'm going to have to shake my back out a little bit. I can really feel my back. I'm trying to think what could have caused this back engagement. I don't know. I'll shake it out for a few more seconds, take another sip of water, and get started with the third set there. Wow. Something's going on with my back. It's just muscles, I think. Those muscles have never done anything in years, apparently, and now they're getting used. That's the only thing I can think. It's not hurting, it's just they're like on fire. You know, like a muscle fire. Not like a literal fire. Anyways. A little bit more shaking of the wrists. My wrists are definitely stretching here. Alright, getting the fingers spread open. Right underneath my chin, I'm going to start my 40-second timer. Giving myself 10 seconds to lower my wrists and hands and press palms and fingers towards my waist to find a good stretch. It's about 30 seconds left, and I'm finding the stretch now. I'm going to see if I can loosen up my shoulders so that my muscles in the back of my shoulders don't go on fire like they have been for the last 2 times I've done this. So this is the third set. The first 2 sets, I mean, I can definitely feel it on my wrists and my fingers and my palm here, but the back behind my shoulders is just literally burning up. And I guess it's because of the pressure I'm putting together on my palms here. Time's up. Okay, I really got to shake out my wrists and fingers, because I did a number on my wrists and fingers. I mean, that's the intent of the exercise. What's really surprising is it feels like there's some tissue connecting my shoulder blades, and that tissue's on fire. So I'm gonna have to stretch it out a teeny bit here before I continue, because that exercise was more for my back than my wrists almost. All right, next up, I got 2 more wrist exercises coming up. So next up is wrist curls. So for this, I'm going to do 10 reps on each side. I'm going to do both sides at the same time here, because I'm just going to put a light weight on each hand, and the wrist curls. So my wrists are going to be on top of my knees, so the only thing that's moving is really my wrists. Up and down as far as possible, and nice and slow. So 10 times each side for 2 sets. So right now my lightest weight is 3 pounds. I haven't done this exercise, I think, ever. So if 3 pounds is too much, I'm gonna go without weight. Because the wrists themselves have a tiny bit of weight. I'd imagine a pound. I mean the hands themselves, maybe a pound, maybe 2 pounds each. So these are 3 pound weights. Hopefully my wrist can handle that. With all the tennis I play, I would assume so. So if you have really light weights, I suggest starting with them and moving upwards if you're not feeling anything. All right. So the idea is, well, let me see what's going on here. Oh, so I'm going to do 2 sets. It's actually going to be 4 sets because 2 sets are going to be with my palms facing up and 2 sets are going to be with my palm facing down. All right. So there's actually going to be 4 sets here. I'm going to start with the palms facing up. At first that's all I thought I was doing, but I remember there was that little alternative that I wanted to try both sides. So palms facing up, knees over your, forearms over your knees. So the only thing, isolating your wrists to move, the only thing moving is your wrists. And you're going to go nice and slow from down to up for 1, up for 2, up for 3, up for 4. Do it nice and slow. 3 pounds is about right for me. I think 5 pounds would have been too much. Up for 5. Up for 6. I'm going nice and slow. Feeling every little tissue in my wrist complain about this. 6. 7. 8. 9. And 10. All right, I'm gonna shake out my wrist a teeny bit and get ready to do that again. These might be too heavy to do 4 sets. It's two palms facing up, 2 palms facing down. I do have lighter weights elsewhere. I might bring them for the next time I do this. I might bring those lighter weights. I think they're 1 pound weights, and I'm just getting started with this. There's no reason to overdo it with the weights. Again, I'm going to start the second set with my palms facing up, with the weights all the way down as far as I can go, and slowly bringing them up as far as I can go for 1. Just follow the natural motion of your wrist. 2, because it's not really going straight up, straight down. It's going where my wrist can go up and down the best. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I'm going to set my weights down. I think the 3 pound weights are good for me. If I don't have 2 pound weights, but if I had 2 pound weights, I think those would be that much better. Actually, I lie. I think there are like 1.5 pound weights I have somewhere here. In any case, I'll make do with the 3 pound weights. It's a little bit more than I really want for this particular exercise, but I'd rather go a teeny bit over than a teeny bit under, which, like if I had no weights, I don't think that would be enough for me. So that was palm facing up. I'm going to do 2 sets palms facing down. So pretty much the same exercise, isolating the wrists by putting them over top of my my knees and working it that way. I'm in the seated position. To work it, to use your knees for this, you kind of need to be in a seated position. I'm in this crisscross seated position. If you were in a chair, I think you could probably swing this over top of your knees in a chair as well. Whatever works best for you in that sense. I'm going to shake out my wrists one more time and start my first set of, what's this called here? Wrist curls with my palms facing down this time. Last time it was my palms were facing up. All right, here we go. So palms facing down. I'm going to also start in a down position. This feels more natural actually. And now bringing my wrists up for 1 and down. Up for 2 and down. Up for 3 and down. Up for 4 and down. Up for 5, down. Up for 6, down. Up for 7, down. Up for 8, down. Up for 9, down. Up for 10, and down. That was way more natural for me. I probably could have even gotten heavier on that one. I'm going to stick to my 3-pound weights. That felt a lot more natural. The palms up was not natural. The palms down was way more natural. So again, I'll shake my hands out, my wrists out, my fingers out. Shake my back out a little bit. My back's a little tighter than it needs to be. The previous prayer stretches really did a number on my back. It's not hurting, it's just, it got set on fire. Never experienced that in my life. But not between my shoulder blades. But, you know, you learn something new every day apparently. Again, I'm doing wrist curls. This is my last set with my palms facing down. I'm going to do 10 reps. Hands or forearms over top knees to isolate the wrists. And starting from the lowest position and up for 1 and down. Up for 2 and down. Up for 3 and down. For 4 and down. 5 and down. 6 and down. 7 and down. 8 and down. 9 and down. 10 and down. And done. Okay, the wrist curls with the palms and the facing down was way more natural for me than the palms facing up. That was just very unnatural. If I do this exercise again, which I assume I will, I'll try to remember that. Strange that they feel so much differently. Okay, next up is called wrist walking. For that, you'll want a wall. Have a wall right here. I'm going to get up, shake my hands out a little bit, take a sip of water, check the time. Okay, for wrist walking, the notes say, gotta be near wall, my arms are straight, whatever that means. Palms against the wall. Fingers pointed up. Keep palms against the wall. Walk the wrists down the wall as far as you can. Turn hands around so the fingers are pointing down. With palms against the wall, walk wrists back up as far as you can. Oh my goodness, there's a huge stretch in here. So I'm supposed to do this with 2 hands. I'm reading my notes here, so I'm only doing the 1 hand right now. But I can feel the huge stretch right here. So my arms are supposed to be straight here. I don't know if they're supposed to be straight through the whole exercise. I didn't put enough notes here. But let me run through this with 1 hand again, and then I'll try it with both hands and see where we go. So arms straight, palms against the wall, fingers pointed up. keep the palms against the wall, walk the wrists down the wall, so I guess kind of wiggle them down the wall as far as I can. So I'm starting to feel a stretch here. Then I turn my hands around. Once I get down as far as I can go without picking my palm off the wall, I turn my fingers around to the fingers pointing down, and then I walk my wrists back up. There is a huge burn right now on this forearm here. That's where the fun happens apparently. Because I did feel a stretch coming down, but coming back up, it's night and day. All right, I'll go with I'll use the wall with both hands here. Fingers up on the wall. I'm gonna have to remove some of this stuff. It's just toys. Hands, arms straight, hands with fingers pointing up. Then walking the wrists down the wall as far as they can go without the palms raising off of the wall. So I'm getting a decent stretch. Right here, I'm getting a decent stretch on my wrists, but I'm coming to the point where the palms have to leave the wall. So at that point, you gotta turn the fingers around so that they're pointing down, and now bring them back up. And here, this stretch, this is the main event, because it's really stretchy. And I'm going as far up as I can, but the stretch is just, this is about as far as I'm going to go. I'm going to hold it for like a 10 count, and I'm going to repeat this 3 times, but this is kind of taking my breath away. The stretch is pretty severe. Maybe it's because I've never done this, or maybe just because this stretch is pretty severe, but this is where the magic's happening for me here. That's about 10. Okay, I'm going to shake my wrists out. That was unexpected. Because when you're coming down, there's a stretch. It's not a huge stretch. Turn your hands around, come back this way. There's things up here. My triceps are lighting on fire. The whole forearm from I guess the heel of my palm all the way to my elbow just kind of lights up. Whatever you do, don't tear anything here. I didn't feel like I was tearing anything, but boy, my triceps lit up, and the whole length of my forearm lit up. Okay, I'm going to shake my hands out one more time and try it again. I'm guessing in the future it's not going to be as surprising for me when I do this exercise, but wow, I mean, I just dug this off the internet. I searched for wrist exercises, and this one's a winner. All right, here we go. Hands and arms, arms straight against the wall, fingers pointing up. Walk the hands down the wall, whatever that means. I'm feeling the stretch now with my arms straight. I guess my hands should be shoulder width apart. I didn't write enough notes on that. But I'm feeling a good stretch here, down towards, I guess my hands are down below, right around my navel height. And so that's where my stretch ends here. Yeah, I can't go any further without pulling up my palms. So now I'm going to turn my fingers around on the wall with fingers pointing down. And as I bring my fingers up, my triceps lit up, my forearm lights up, and the stretch is pretty intense. I mean, if you're following along at home, be careful with this, because I can see how this could really mess someone up. Wow. Okay, honestly, my triceps aren't lighting on fire as much, and my wrist isn't lighting as much on fire. The second go around, as it did the first go around, this is about as high as I can bring my hands back up in this, with my fingers pointing down. So I'm going to hold this for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And slowly come out of it. Wow. That did a number on my wrists and my fingers and my... I can still feel it in my triceps right now. I don't know if my triceps, that's a stretch, or maybe my triceps were doing all the effort to bring my arms up. That might be it. But it all lit up. So that's 2 sets of that. I got 1 more set of the wrist walking left. I did not expect this one to be to do what it did. So while I'm shaking out my hands here again, I'll check for anything I need to pay attention to. All right, we're good. Ow. That just about hurt. Nothing like a long-term pain, but boy, it was something. Okay, 1 more set of that wrist walking. So arms straight. Going up here. Now I'm going to bring them down. Walk them down the wall. I'm going to get them, that's about as far as my wrist can stretch with my palms still touching the wall. And at this point I'm going to turn one wrist around so my fingers face the floor, then the other wrist. So all my fingers are more or less pointing down. And now I'm going to raise my wrists up the wall. And this is where things catch fire a little bit. Okay, that's about as far as I can go. I still have a really good stretch here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And slowly release. I'm like peeling off the wall here. It's intense. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. Thanks for all the likes. That's a lot of likes. I didn't expect to see that many. Like, follow, subscribe, whatever works best for you. Okay. That's it for the wrist exercises. I got some ankle exercises coming up. Let me see my time. I'm doing okay on time. Okay, first ankle exercise here is the standing heel raises, 2 up, 2 down. So I'm going to go up for 2 and down for 2. 10 reps, 3 sets. So I'm going to be near a wall. My feet are shoulder width apart. Slowly lift my heels up and down with control. So I'm going to take 2 counts to go up, 2 counts to go down. I'm going to repeat that 10 times for 10 reps for 1 set. I'm trying to do 3 sets here. So I just have a wall near me. I'm just gonna do one of these. The wall is only there for stability, and I'll stabilize with this hand, and this hand I'll just keep it balanced so I don't fall out of balance like this. So my feet are going to be about shoulder width apart, and I'm slowly going to bring my toes up for 1. And back down. Nice and slow. So that was 1. Up for 2. And back down for 2. Up for 3. And back down for 3. Up for 4. And back down for 4. Up for 5, and back down for 5. 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8. It's more of a calf exercise, but I'm sure my ankles are benefiting. 9, 9. My calves are lighting up. I can feel my calves. I guess my ankles are definitely benefiting from there too. 10 and 10. So yeah, this felt a lot more like a calf exercise than an ankle exercise, but they're connected, so I'll live with it. I think the slowness of the raise and the lower is what's supposed to benefit the ankle, because there's structures in there that need some exercise. This will do it. Second set of standing heel raises. Again, I'm going to use the wall as support on this side. I'm just going to balance out with this side. And going to go slowly, a 2 count up and a 2 count back. So nice and slow up, nice and slow back, down. I'm going to count down from 10 this time. So up for 10, and down, 9, and down, 8. Might as well engage the core here. My core is not doing anything, so I'll engage it. 8, 7. Thanks for the likes. 7, 6, 5. My calves are on fire. 5, 4. I might come out of this a little gimpy. 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, that was a second set. I got one more set of the standing heel raises. I gotta stretch these calves out a tiny bit here because I just after 2 sets of that, I gotta stretch them out. I got one more set that I have planned here, and I don't want to get cramp up in the middle of the third set when I can just do a nice little stretch and probably just relieve any tension in there just enough to do my third set. Honestly, my stretching is telling me that I might want to keep it to the 2 sets because I can feel some not so good. Like this ankle is doing okay. This ankle is really complaining. Like really at the very bottom of the Achilles heel, there is a loud complaint saying, don't do it again. So I'm going to listen, and I'm just going to cut it off at 2 sets. And after this, all of this, I'm going to stretch some more. Because this one ankle is saying, nah, don't do it. And these are ankle exercises. It's actually not my ankle that's complaining. It feels like the very bottom of my Achilles heel. So I'll listen. Next one up, it's an ankle exercise. Hopefully this doesn't aggravate it anymore. This one is called star exercise. So for this one, you're supposed to put 3 cones in the front and 2 cones diagonally in the back. So it's supposed to make it the shape of a star, more or less, if you were to draw a star on the floor. I'm not going to put cones out there. I'm just going to trip over them. Basically, my one cone is going to be over here on this side of the mat. There's one on the top of right in front of me, and one on kind of towards the middle of this mat. This other mat, this blue mat. It's going to be like in the middle of it, in front of me a little bit. And then there's going to be 2 cones, pretend cones. One towards the behind me on the blue, and one behind me on the pink. So the way it's going to look is going to be, I'm going to start diagonally across, diagonally middle, diagonally away, behind across. So that's the star exercise. My ankle actually feels, I'm not even sure which ankle this is supposed to exercise, the one that's holding in place or the one that's moving around. Because it says tap each cone with a foot, so with the same foot. So let's pretend there's cones in, I'm going to call them position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm going to pretend there's cones 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think the plant ankle is the one that's doing all the work, because this ankle is just looking for my point placements. So it really does feel like the plant ankle is the one that's working here. I'll stop my talking. This is the first time I'm doing these exercises, by the way. So, yeah, that's all the notes I have. I didn't see any video of this, but I'll give it a go. I got to do 5 reps, and I'm going to do 3 sets of this on each side. So it should be pretty quick. So I'll just do, I'll go through the star pattern, and at the end of the star pattern, I'll do 1. And then at the end, at the end of the second one, I'll do 2. Because if I do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'll probably get lost in this. So, okay, so we'll start. I'm going to call it A, B, C, D, E. Okay, and then count as 1. I got to figure out how to do this, so I'm verbalizing now. So A, B, C, D, E, 1. A, B, C, D, E, 2. A, B, C, D, E, 3. A, B, C, D, E, 3. I'm going to cut it with the ABCs. When I finish my little circle here, I'll just count it up. 4. 4. 5. All right, that was the one side. Now I'll do the other side. Same deal. I'm going to start diagonally across the middle, across, then the middle, then off to the side, front to the side, back to the side, back diagonal. So I'm going to go around a little semicircle. Actually, almost a full circle here. So starting again. 1. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, that was fairly quick. It is my plant ankle that's doing all the work. The one that's flying around in a circle, it's hardly doing anything. The plant ankle, the foot that's planted on the ground, it's trying to keep balance everywhere. And it's the whole ankle that's getting worked out because my balance is getting thrown all around me. So the balance on the ankle is getting moved around, and the muscles work all the way around the ankle. That's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm going to call it because, I mean, I can't imagine it's going to work out anything else. So that was 1 set. I'm going to do 2 more sets of that. I'll go a little quicker this time. It's a 5-star pattern right around my leg, starting with a forward diagonal. 1, 2, feels like a ballet move. 3, I never did ballet. 4, 5. That was the one leg. I'm going to do the other leg. I'm starting with a cross in front, down the middle of front, off to the side of front, behind to the side, and behind diagonally across. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is relatively, that was the second set. It's a relatively easy exercise, but I'm feeling that plant foot work. I am feeling that plant foot work. I didn't know what to expect out of this exercise. Again, I just dug it off the internet. It's feeling good. I'm going to continue with it. Last set. Starting with this foot. It's a star pattern. 3 in the front of me, 2 behind me. Starting diagonally across in the front. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That was relatively quick. Got one more. I'm going to switch legs here, starting diagonally across from the front. 3 sweeping across the front, 2 towards the back, with the last one diagonally across behind me. 1, 2. I'm getting more exercise on my plant ankle when I stretch a little further away from me. Then if I go really close, there's not much difference. But since I'm stretching away from me in a circular pattern, the further away from me I stretch, the more my plant ankle has to work. So right now I've done 2 of these. So I'm going to go to third, 3, 4, 5. All right, that's 5. I felt it on my ankles. It also I felt a little pressure all over my legs, most of my ankles, for what it's worth. First time I've ever done that exercise. Interesting little exercise. I probably did it all wrong. If you know that I did it wrong, just post what I did wrong, please. Okay. Comments. Constructive criticism is mostly appreciated. Don't just say you did it wrong or something like that. That's not necessarily helpful. Okay. Jump squats or squat jumps. 8 reps, 2 on each side. Okay, and I have a little note here to myself, note to self, no air. Okay, so these are jump squats. So a squat, as I came to find, is coming straight down with your butt going towards the floor and then coming back up, right? So jump squats or squat jumps would be coming down and jumping straight up. That being said, I did burpees, which is essentially a jump squat in part, when you jump up, and that tweaked my knee. I hadn't been catching a whole lot of air. I hadn't been ready for air. My knee, I hadn't exercised anything, so I wasn't. Apparently, my body wasn't ready for it. My knee was all tweaked for a better part of a week or so. Maybe I should have gone see the doctor. I didn't. It got better on its own. I wasn't really going all out. So, that being said, note to self: maybe you shouldn't do any air. I'm gonna. If anything, I'll do like a 1/2 inch air, 1/4 inch air. If I get air, it'll be like this much air, right? So I'm going to do these jump squats, 8 of them, 2 sets of jump squats. But my plan is to get no air. If I get some air accidentally, I'll live with it. The real trick is not to hurt my knees. So wherever you are, I'm going to make sure I don't get air this time, because it's just a matter of getting all the muscles built in that support all the things that need to happen. Because, if we look at Muscle Man here, there's dozens and dozens. I got Muscle Man back here. It's a diagram of all the muscles in the body. And there's literally dozens of muscles connecting the lower leg, upper leg, and the core and the arm. Hundreds of muscles, really. And all of those got to do something for this jump squat. And I'm probably not there yet, realistically. So I'll jump 8 jump squats. So gonna go down for 8. Okay, I didn't get any air, but I did get some jump momentum there. So that's 8, 7, 6. Ooh, I got air there. 5. It's like a ski jumper. Have you ever seen ski jumping on the, Winter Olympics? What number? I'm 6. I'll say 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. And done. All right. How many sets of these? 2 sets of these. Yeah, I'm going really minimal on this thing. I do want to eventually do the burpees. I do want to do some real jump squats where I get some real air. I guess at first as time goes on, I'll try to get more air. The real goal is to be able to do these without tweaking my knees. Don't want to hurt my knees. I got big plans for these knees. The dogs need, you know, getting taken out for a stroll. If I say the W word, he's going to be all up my butt. All right, so one more set of the jump squats. 8. Ooh, I got air there. 7. Not so much air there. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1. And done. All right. Those jump squats were not meant to impress. They were just meant to start building some muscle, some tissue that I'm going to need later on to actually do some serious jump squats. Those are very serious. I don't want to get injured. No one should get injured. So if you get no air for the first however many times, if you never get air, as long as you're not injuring yourself and you're doing the work, it's where it's at. You'll get the benefit, you'll get muscle growth, you'll get muscle development, whatever it needs to develop and grow and get stronger, it'll grow and get stronger. And eventually, if everything works out correctly, if the moon aligns with the sun, who knows, you'll be flying. All right, next up. Oh, I should check the time. Okay, we're running really low on time. I probably have time for one more exercise. I'll make this quick. I'm just going to do one set of each of these 3 exercises. I don't think I've ever done them before. So toe curls, 1 set of 10. So with this, I'm just going to curl my toes, pretend I'm picking something up here on the pink mat, and put them on the blue mat with my toes. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to do that with the other side. I'm just running through these. I've never done these exercises. I just want to see what it feels like. So picking up from the pink mat and putting them off right off of on the edge of the pink mat. So using my toes to pick something up and drop off for 10, 9, 8. Oh, this ankle's got to move. That's what's going to happen. A 7. The ankle. It's all in the ankle. These are ankle exercises. 6, 5, 4. Knees slightly bent. The plant knee is slightly bent. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'll explain that at some other point in time when I haven't been so long-winded and ran out of time. Those are toe curls and toe pickups. I'm going to do a really quick one of these. This is called an ankle pump up and down. Okay, so it's just basically your plant leg is knee slightly bent, your other leg is straight, slightly up, and you just pump your ankle up and down 10 times each side. So 10, 9, 8. I will do it slowly, but I really want to keep these to about an hour. So I'm just going to power through them real quick. But in the future, I won't be quite as long-winded, and I'll get through my list the way I want to get through my list, hopefully. Other side, ankle pumping up and down for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I can barely bring it back up. My ankle definitely needs a little help there. One last one. Okay, this one's just weird. I'll do one of these. It says I have to have my palms against the wall. I have to have one of my feet against the wall. Both my palms, one foot, and I have to lower into a seated position and hold the stretch for 30 seconds. I'm going to give this a shot. I think I'm going to fall over possibly. So 2 hands on the wall, 1 foot on the wall, and then lower my butt for 30 seconds. I'm holding it for like 3 or 4. I'm going to have to look at a video of someone doing this. I'll try it again on the other side, but I didn't put enough notes down to do this right. So I got to sit down here on my invisible chair. Okay, whatever this is called bent knee wall stretch. I'm gonna need to find a video of someone doing it right because my notes ain't cutting it. It's been great. Done wrist exercises and ankle exercises today. Anyone following along, be healthy, be well. My name is JC. This has been Dad Bod with JC, and I'm going to do a quick forward fold and sign off. Feeling great. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.